How far in advance should you have your hotel room blocks set aside? My name is Michelle Martinez. I have been planning weddings for over 20 years. I'm also the creator and host of the Big Wedding Planning Podcast, which if you have not heard it, you need to go subscribe on your favorite podcast player right now. There's over 280 episodes. Everything to do with wedding planning. It's for anyone involved in planning a wedding, so go check it out. Also, if you have wedding planning questions that I can answer here on this channel, make sure you comment below with your wedding planning question. Okay, how far in advance should you book your hotel wedding block? Well, first of all, what is a hotel wedding block? Do you even know? Basically, if you need 10 or more sleeping rooms for your wedding guests, for your wedding, you're going to book a hotel room block. That's a block of rooms that the hotel sets aside at a special negotiated lower rate for your wedding guests only. And it's a great thing. And I actually used to work in hotels doing just this. So I would work with people planning their weddings, and I would help them with hotel room blocks. And I can say that it can be very daunting. It's not easy. It's not easy to do for you as the consumer because there's lots of things, like there's lots of unknowns. And especially now, when people book their own Airbnbs or they use an app like Hotels Tonight or, VRBO, you don't really know how many of your guests are really going to want to stay at a hotel. However, if you find a hotel that gives you a good rate and has really good amenities, and especially if your wedding is like way out in some remote place, a hotel room block is very beneficial. Not only that, but if yours is a destination wedding, meaning 90% of your guests or more are traveling several hours driving or by a train or plane, they need a place to stay overnight. So it's important that you negotiate a good rate with a hotel for your guests. So the question is specifically how far in advance? The answer is it depends on the hotel. Some hotels, smaller boutique hotels, might not book out too far in advance, or they may want to. I would say at least 6 months if you can. Some hotels will book out a year in advance if you are inquiring a year in advance. Because what's going to happen is once you send out your save the dates, right? Once you have your venue and the date, and this is a destination wedding, you're going to want to send out those save the dates, even as far as a year in advance, so people can plan, right? And take time off work, plan a vacation around it. It's beneficial when you send those save the dates to let them know, by the way, we have negotiated a rate of, $229 per night at this awesome property, and it includes breakfast, and they have a wine hour at 5:00 or whatever it is. But if you don't have the hotel information just yet, that's okay. You can just put, stay tuned. We will be getting a great rate for you at a hotel close by, right? But at least 6 months in advance, sometimes 9 months. And some people won't even make their reservations that early. It depends on your guests. But the other thing is you have to be cautious not to book these blocks too far in advance if you can help it, because the hotel might not give you the best possible rate. So you're taking a risk either way. If you wait too long, the hotel might not have availability. Or if you don't do it far enough in advance, if you do to it far in if you book it too far in advance, they might not be as inclined to give you a highly discounted rate because they feel that there's more time to book other groups in the hotel. So I would say 6 months is a pretty sweet spot, but you might want to try sooner, 9 months out. And the other thing that you should do once you've, signed this contract is actually before you sign the contract, you should really talk to the salesperson and say, how likely is it that you're going to be running promotions that are cheaper than the rate that you are giving me for my guests? Because that's going to suck and it's going to make me look stupid if, my guest is like, let me just see about this AAA discount I have, or let me just do a quick look on Travelocity and see if there's a less expensive rate. Then you're going to be like kind of annoyed, right? Especially if that hotel is going to charge you or hold you responsible for the attrition rate. So some hotels might say to you, don't worry, if they find it less expensive, we'll honor that rate. We'll lower it for you. That would be the best case scenario and the best of both worlds. But every hotel is different. Every sales team, director of sales at each property is different, and they all have their own revenue goals for the year. And it is what it is. So definitely book a hotel for the majority of your guests if you can, especially because if you're going to be offering transportation to your guests, you're going to want them all at one hotel if possible, or at least have that bus pick them up at the one property. So lots to think about here. Destination weddings offer a whole nother layer of details and complexities to wedding planning, but just know that if you need more help wedding planning and you can't necessarily afford to hire a wedding planner, I got you covered. The Big Wedding Planning Masterclass is a digital course, and Chapter 2, Lesson 3 specifically talks about hotel room blocks. And I am giving you so much information that is easy to digest, a checklist, questions to ask, how to compare rates, what attrition is. I am just laying it all out for you and teaching you step by step how I do things as a wedding planner. So check out the Big Wedding Planning Masterclass. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget that if you have a wedding planning question or questions, leave them in the comments below so I can answer them. Thank you.